channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can turn yourself into Ghostface from Scream. Ghostface is probably one of the most iconic killers in horror movie history, and I've been wanting to turn myself into him for quite some time, so I'm really glad to share with you guys this tutorial. This is part of my Halloween series, so if you're not already, definitely make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be uploading a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial every weekday for the entire month of October, and you definitely don't want to miss it. I'm also doing a huge Halloween giveaway, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see how you can enter in that as well. So anyways, with that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can turn yourself into Ghostface this Halloween, then just keep watching. Hey Spoops, so to get started, I'm going to be showing you how I create the eyepieces for the Ghostface prosthetic. I like to make eyepieces this way because you can at least relatively see through the prosthetic, and so I use this technique in a lot of my prosthetic tutorials. So at first, I'm just going to be taking these faceless masks that I get from Spirit Halloween, and I will have them linked down below for you guys. I'm just going to be cutting out the shape that I want for the eyepiece, and then of course flipping it over and duplicating that, so that way I have two that are relatively the same size and shape. I'm then going to be taking this white mesh fabric that I got from Joann's, and I will have that linked down below as well. I'm going to be spray painting that black. You can of course get some black mesh fabric, however I only had white, and so I just decided to go ahead and spray paint it to make it black. Now whenever I was going to apply the layer over the eyepiece, I noticed that I still saw a little bit too much of the silver from the face mask, so I actually doubled up the white mesh fabric, and in doing this, of course, you are impairing your vision a little bit more. However, I do like the opacity of the look, and so I decided to go ahead and double it over and then use Mod Podge to seal it to those eyepieces, and go ahead and let that dry. And of course, after that, you can go ahead and cut them out. Now, I like to do this. You can, of course, just use body paint and leave the eye spaces open. However, I did like to do this because you can take them in and out. So you can, of course, make them and then paint your eyes anyway, and then you can take these in and out as you like. Moving on to the prosthetic, I'm going to be taking some petroleum jelly and applying this all over my life cast. This is going to make the removal process a lot easier and help the prosthetic remove from the life cast at the very end. And then I'm just going to be taking this foil in the shape that I want for his chin piece, and I'm just going to be hot gluing that to the life cast, and this will at least hold it in place until we can create our latex paste, which I'm going to do now by taking my liquid latex and some flour until it becomes a nice paste-like consistency, and then apply that first to those edges where the foil is going to be sticking to the face, just to kind of help solidify and make sure that that is sticking to the prosthetic before we move on to taking some duct tape, and we're just going to be applying this right over top of that chin piece, and this is going to help close that off so that we can build the mouth off of that. I'm going to be taking these jumbo cotton balls and then slowly unrolling them so that way we get these nice long pieces that are nice and thick for us to be able to glue and start to build more of our prosthetic. So I'm just applying a little bit of liquid latex to the life cast, and then applying my cotton balls, and then slowly adding some more liquid latex and just building this up. I'm applying this all over the chin and nose area, starting to build upwards. That way we can kind of get that nice natural dip in the mask that he has from the nose to the mouth area. So you just kind of want to start to create a nice natural slope and create enough room for you to still be able to breathe under this mask. I will say you might not be able to breathe fully through your nose, but you can still breathe very easily through your mouth because of the way that we've built this chin piece. So if you'd like, feel free to poke some holes in that nose area as well to make you feel more comfortable if that is something you would like to do, or still leave the nose area completely open if you feel comfortable with that, and then just fill it in with black body paint on your actual nose. But for me, I felt completely comfortable just breathing out of my mouth, and so I'm just going to continue to apply the liquid latex over this cotton to fully seal it, so that way we kind of have the base part of the prosthetic that we can now start to build and add details to, like the lips for the mouth. So I'm just going to be taking a rolled up piece of cotton, and I'm just going to be forming that in the center of the mouthpiece into the shape of the oval for his mouth, and then I'm just going to be taking some liquid latex and blending the edges downwards so that way it fully seals to the prosthetic. Next, I'm going to be working on the eyepieces, so I'm just going to be laying down some liquid latex, and then once again, I'm going to be going in with some of my cotton balls, placing the eyepiece down just so I can kind of get an idea of the shape that I need to mold around, and then I'm going to be removing the eyepiece and adding some liquid latex to really start to build the shape of that eyepiece. So I definitely want to kind of follow that lima bean shape, and then I'm going to be taking another piece of cotton and start to build the nose piece. So I'm going to be creating his signature little triangular nose, and then just once again taking some liquid latex to blend that down into the rest of the prosthetic. But you still want to make sure to leave some of the flaps of the nose piece lifted up, so that way it kind of helps create a little bit more dimension between his nose, his eyes, and his mouth, so that way that they are still separated, however they still look like they're connected as being part of the same mask. I'm then going to be mixing up a little bit more of my latex paste. I'm going to be using this to build the forehead part of the prosthetic. So I'm going to be laying down some paste and then taking some liquid latex on my finger. I'm going to be using that to smooth out all of the texture for this, and I'm even going to be applying this latex paste onto the rest of the prosthetic. And once again, with some liquid latex on my finger, I'm just going to be using that to smooth out all of the edges and the surface as best as I can to make it as smooth as possible. I don't want this to have any lumps, so I'm trying to alleviate that. However, it's not going to be quite perfect, but I definitely wanted to do my best and try and make it look smooth and flat. We're then going to be adding a little bit more of our latex paste to the eyepieces because we want to make his eyepieces protrude a little bit more and have a little bit more definition and contour surrounding the face. So I'm just going to be trying to round that off with my finger to definitely try and mimic the mask as best as possible. I'm also taking that latex paste into the mouth and nose area, and once again with some fresh liquid latex on my finger, I'm just making sure to blend and smooth that out so we have a nice surface to paint off of for our paint job. Once that has dried, I decided to take my Made You Look body paint in Yeti, and I'm going to be using this to paint the first layers of my prosthetic. So I usually use body paint to paint my prosthetics, and I find that it works out really well. The biggest issue I ran into with this was that the white body paint was awesome, but it never got opaque enough over the yellow tones of the prosthetic to be able to cover those yellow tones completely. So I was in a little bit of a predicament, and I was trying to think of what I could do to fix the problem, and my brain was thinking, okay, I could take some acrylic paint, that would work. Well, unfortunately, I was completely out of white acrylic paint, so my big brain thought, hey, I can just use some white spray paint and paint that on the prosthetic instead. And if you have these thoughts like me, don't do it, because whenever we go to the removal process, the spray paint completely cracks and you look like Pennywise. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm questioning a lot of things, but definitely try to use white body paint. I love the opacity it gave the look, but I don't like the struggle that it gave me. But the black body paint worked just fine, so I'm taking my Made You Look body paint in ink, and I'm going to be applying this to the mouth and nose area. Once again, trying to make sure I fill all of the corners so that way you don't see any of the natural yellow tones from the prosthetic poking through. So at this point, I was really loving how this prosthetic was looking. It was looking perfect. Nothing could go wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and seal it with my polyacrylic sealant, and so I'm applying this all over the prosthetic, and I'm going to be leaving that to dry overnight. What I love about this is it gives the prosthetic a beautiful glossy finish. I think this is a secret weapon to creating the perfect prosthetic, so I absolutely love it. And now it is time for the removal process. So I'm going to be taking some baby powder and slowly lifting the edges from the prosthetic and making sure to apply some baby powder underneath as I go. And this is where I noticed that spray paint was not my friend and not my saving grace in that situation, but actually a demon disguised as my saving grace, because look at all these cracks. I was trying not to stress out too much because I was determined to make sure that this worked, but these cracks were not looking good, because this is not a Pennywise makeup tutorial. This is a Ghostface makeup tutorial where it's supposed to look nice and smooth and white, and it was just flaking off and I was struggling. So in order to fix this little mishap, I took some liquid latex and I'm just dabbing that on over the cracks. What this did was it kind of resealed the cracks that I created and made sure that they didn't split anymore. So I went ahead and applied this over all of those cracks to make sure that I was basically kind of re-gluing them back down, and that seemed to work. And then I just went ahead and painted over that again with some white body paint, and this is how the prosthetic turned out. So I was still very happy with it. However, just wanted to warn you guys about that situation because I was not expecting that, but I was also sleep deprived and not thinking quite properly, and I was trying to figure out how to make it look more opaque, and I made the mistake. So next we're going to be moving on to the application process, and this was right after that mishap, so I was just ready to put this on and make sure it works. So I'm going to be taking my petroleum jelly and just going ahead and applying this through the baby hair surrounding my face and my eyebrows as well, just to alleviate any potential spirit gum getting into those areas. It will definitely just help make the removal process a little bit easier. I'm then going to be taking my myuu look body paint in ink, and I'm going to be using this to paint my neck to help conceal it and blend it in with the rest of my costume. I'm then going to be putting my wig cap on my head and securing those back pieces with some bobby pins because I didn't need to worry about gluing it down for this look, but I do want to take my Ben Nye spirit gum and glue down the forehead piece. So I'm going to be gluing down the bald cap to my forehead and then going in with some black hair color hairspray. I'm just going to be spraying that to the bald cap area. This just makes it a little bit quicker and easier than having to paint it manually. I'm then going to be taking some more of that spirit gum, and with a Q-tip I'm going to be applying this to the forehead bald cap pieces and also bringing that down to my nose and my cheeks as well. This is going to give the prosthetic a nice grip on the face, so I'm just going to go ahead and place that on my face. And the main thing is you just want to wait until it is fully glued. I would say I wait about 3 to 5 minutes just holding it in place before I feel like it's fully secured. And last but not least, you can go ahead and pop in your eyepieces. And that is the completed Ghostface makeup tutorial from Scream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. Also, make sure you check out my other Scream makeup tutorials as well. I will have those linked down below for you guys to watch. Also, if you haven't already, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can support me for as little as $1 a month and receive all exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of upcoming makeup tutorials and tips and tricks before anybody else, and it really does help support me and my channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hey Spoops, cutting in for a minute to tell you how you can enter in my Halloween giveaway worth over $200, where one of you will be winning all of these Halloween makeup goodies. This giveaway is going on from October 1st to October 31st at midnight, aka like November 1st at midnight, like in between, that in between space, that one. So in order to enter into my giveaway, you first need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Next is to leave a comment on my 2021 Halloween makeup tutorials. My Halloween makeup tutorials that I'm going to be uploading this month, it's ideally going to be one every weekday for the entire month of October, which comes out to 21 makeup tutorials. They are the tutorials that I'm going to be selecting the winner from. And the way that I'm going to be doing it is 21 makeup tutorials. I'm going to number them 1 through 21 and have a random number generator select a random number between 1 and 21, and I'm going to select that video associated with that number and have a random comment generator select a comment from that video. You can most definitely comment on all of my videos, and that gives you the best chance of entering, because that way you consistently have a comment on every single video, so that way whenever the video is picked randomly, you are definitely entered in that area. Third is you definitely need to make sure that whenever you leave a comment, this is very important, that you leave your Instagram handle tagged in the comment. I'm going to be DMing the winner through Instagram, so definitely make sure that your profile is public on Halloween, so that way I can DM you and let you know that you won. But I will need to be able to find you. If I click on your comment, I'm gonna need to be able to find you, so please leave your Instagram handles in the comments whenever you leave a comment throughout the entire month, just because I want to be able to message you and let you know that you won, because otherwise I won't really have a way to get a hold of you. And last but not least, this is unfortunately only open to US residents only. This is the first giveaway that I am doing. I would really love to open it up internationally in the future. However, because because this is the first giveaway, I want to make sure that it goes well, so I'm going to leave it US only for now, and then hopefully in future giveaways I can make it international. And because I'm not sure if I need to say this or not, no purchase is necessary in order to enter to win, and we will only be having one winner for all of these fun Halloween goodies. So I'm so excited. Once again, thank you guys so much for supporting me, and back to the video.